Whose stock is up, whose stock is down in week 8 for fantasy football? Let's start with the risers, rapid fire. cjstroud. Texans offense has been looking for an identity. Stroud threw 39 passes this game and had 7 rushes as well as a quarterback. Potential to do even more when Nico Collins returns, but just don't play him against Denver next week. I'm also raising the stock of Lamarjackson. It's not just because he's expected to play on Thursday, but because the Ravens got a critical win that is going to make them less incentivized to just rest Lamar. This is now a win-now team. Moving him back to the QB2 on my board has a chance to be QB1 because that's where he was before the injury. If you want to see where I rank all these guys, by the way, go to my site, fansports.com. I'm updating my rankings every single day to give you the best fantasy football rankings on the internet. You can see where I rank players versus where experts do. I tend to differ a lot from experts, but that's part of what's allowed me to win 36% of all the fantasy football leagues I've been in the last 20 plus years. I'm also rising Zay Flowers and Derrick Henry. I like that Flowers got an over 40% target share this game. Derrick Henry remains a little bit boom bust, kind of dependent on big runs and touchdowns, but this Ravens offense finally regained their mojo. I've had James Cook higher than most experts because I love the position he's in Buffalo with an elite run blocking offensive line and Josh Allen, but he's sort of looking like this year's Saquon Barkley, a guy who's going to break out a lot of big touchdown runs, could rush for something around 2,000 yards. Tyrone Tracy also gets a big boost up now that he's going to be the starting running back in New York. Really sad to see what happened to Scadaboo. Hope he gets a good recovery. If he's available in your league, he's a top priority pickup this week for sure. Don't forget how hyped people were on him mid-season when he had his run with the Giants. He hasn't had a chance to go off yet with Jackson Dart. Having a rushing QB will help with some running lanes for him. Darius Slayton also gets a boost from me. He led the Giants with 5 targets, which isn't amazing, but he had a big touchdown called back. He's going to have some solid games. He's their wide receiver 1 now. I would upgrade Saquon after his big game, but I already had him basically where I had him before the season started. I did a deep statistical breakdown into him about why his yards before contact and big runs weren't happening yet this year and why they were inevitable, and we saw that in this game when untouched for a 65-yard touchdown. I've been a broken record about Chase Brown this year being a buy low. I think that window was officially closed after this game. We're now seeing that this is an elite running back who has a solid offense all to himself. And just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Trayvon Henderson finally had his breakout game. Expect him to keep going up. I've said all year long he's a late season stash. Inevitably, these rookies are going to get their shot. Ramondre Stevenson wasn't that imposing. Now the guys whose stocks are down. Got to downgrade Rico Dowdle. I almost made a video last week but didn't have time about him versus Chuba Hubbard. Dowdle got below 40% snap share this game, which is very concerning. And even though his talent is clearly higher than Chuba Hubbard's and his production is much higher, Hubbard has a big 4-year deal through 2028, and Rico Dowdle has a 1-year deal that has incentives that they probably don't want him to reach necessarily because they'll have to pay him more money. Also downgrading Darnell Mooney. He thought he might get a big shot this week with Drake London out, but unfortunately only got 4 targets on 30 routes despite leaving receivers and snaps, did not do anything with them. I've also got to downgrade T. Higgins just slightly. I like him with Flacco, but only getting 2 targets compared to Jamar Chase's 19 is bad. I know he had a touchdown on a big play, but I'm starting to feel like there's not that much of a separation between T. Higgins and a guy like Kayshon Boutte, who's just basically dependent on getting a big touchdown any given week. Speaking of the Patriots, I got to downgrade Stephon Diggs a little bit. I thought he was the alpha receiver here, but they love spreading the ball out. Mac Hollins had a huge game. Kayshon Boutte had a huge game. Stephon Diggs probably gets the least interesting looks of all these guys, though he will still have some solid games. Don't forget to check out fansports.com to see where I rank all these guys. I'm making daily videos to help you win your fantasy football league. Really appreciate you all spending a few valuable minutes of your day with me. Stay learning. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.